Hello there. I was watching a video tonight, and it made me really think. I tell you, we are really in a downfall. I tell you, I like the modern technology, but I'll give you an example. It's gotten to the point if you want to go to the grocery store like Lidl, and you want to buy the stuff on sale, you need their app. My wife and I, we cell phone because I know all about how Alexis tracks stuff. Most people have smart TVs. We have two flat screen TVs, one downstairs and one upstairs in our bedroom. We don't want a smart TV because I'm convinced that these smart TVs could be recording what people are saying, the audio and the video. The technology is nice, but look at all the drawbacks. Yeah, it's nice how people can, buy stuff on the internet. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, Sharon? Hey, for some reason the chat's really dark. I mean, it's to the point. I'll give you an example. I have three different email accounts. I have two Yahoo Mail accounts and one Gmail. If I clear the history on the computer, I have to get an email to my main account, which is a Gmail. If um, if I don't hit the right button, it wants to send a text. Well, I can't receive a text because I don't have a cell phone. I mean, all this stuff is convenient, but has its downfalls. Just like, there's two schools of thought with the AI centers. I'm really not for them at all. Um, I can see how part of this has to do with national defense. The thing is, to look at it like this, it's going to employ a lot of people. If it could help mankind, it'd be good. But you look at the downfalls, the water usage, the heat involved. I mean, I'm not an expert in that area, but I'll tell you, I think we are really in a downfall. You just can't convince some people on the left. I know people that are for Sharia law. I don't want to go into detail. I've told them to read excerpts of the Quran. Anybody can do a Google search and find out how the Quran they consider women beneath men, which is not right at all. Um, they consider women as the same level as livestock, and they're against dogs. I remember hearing on the radio before the war started over there. Oh, okay, the Ayatollah ordered all dogs to be killed. I mean, that's really nice. I think part of it is look at it like this: dogs spelled backwards is God. Dogs are man's best friend. My wife and I, we've had four German Shepherds. I actually spend more time with my dog than with my wife because he's with me all the time. Holly's upstairs right now, sleeping in the cage in the bedroom. But I look at it like this: there was a time in this country from World War One to World War Two where there was basically no immigration at all. I've mentioned this before to people that haven't ever heard me. If people want to come into this country, fine. But the thing is, the people coming into this country, they don't want to come here to assimilate. They want to turn our country into what they escaped. I'm not for that at all. I have ancestors that came here when the country was founded in the 1600s. I have one video where I've traced the family tree. A lot of the information I got passed down to me from family members. I really think we're in a downhill spiral. I mean, some people might say I'm a hypocrite because I own a lot of tech stocks. But it's like, I'm trying to get ahead just like, everybody else and be financially secure. But all this technology, I mean, it's gotten to the point people are just addicted to social media. You look at what's going on with Meta. I saw in the news where an 11-year-old girl terminated herself because of so much pressure. And the thing is, I blame a lot of this on the parents. People in my age group, we didn't have all this stuff when we were kids. We used to play outside. Um, when I grew up, there were really no kids my own age except for girls up the road. But then even when I went to a friend's house, we'd go out into the woods and play army, pick up sticks and pretend they were rifles. And we weren't like, really, hurting each other. It was just all for fun. Then you look at the video games, all the violence in the video games. Yeah, it's fun to shoot at targets and hit them, But you look at how graphic it is. It has just gotten out of hand. I, I think the only way this country is going to get out of the downhill spiral if people get back to their roots. And what were the roots of this country? Christianity. The first laws in the world came from the Old Testament. Before then, people were living like animals, killing each other. And you look at certain parts of the world and certain countries. I've read that certain parts of the world, certain countries, the average IQ was 65. I remember I was in Catholic school for 3 years. I remember the nun telling us about the IQ of different races. The Asian people actually have the highest IQ, a little higher. You figure when I was a kid, the United States scored #1 and all scholastic. Well, you know what happened after Jimmy Carter formed basically, what is that? They call, Trump is dismantling that. The fact that the federal government got involved with schools, what happened? Everything just went downhill. And it's still going downhill. These teachers are more concerned about indoctrinating kids. McCarthy was before my time, but I've seen some videos of that guy's speeches. Now, he had a lot of issues. I think he died of hepatitis, and he was a drug user. The only way this country can be saved is if people get back to morals, and history repeats itself. People have to read the Bible. That's where all laws originated with. I don't want to criticize anybody for their faith, but it's like, that's where morals all came from. I mean, we live in a moralless society. Almost every day, if you turn your local city news on, because the news I get is Philadelphia. There's always somebody being shot. Look at it like this: most of the black youth in this city, they're trapped in poverty. What did people in this country do before welfare was created? I saw a video on Facebook the other night where a woman was just freaking out saying, because of the big beautiful bill, there's going to be way bigger cuts to Medicaid. I look at it like this: people need health care, but we're already in socialism. You look at it like this: people say the rich aren't paying their fair share of taxes. The top 10% pay maybe, I forget what it is. Most of the taxes in this country, half the people in this country pay about 3% of the taxes. We have already become a welfare state. Back when all this stuff started, figure everybody praised FDR. My grandfather, you can find out about him. He was an economics professor at Astonis College in the early 20s. He debated other economic professors, Dr. James L. Boswell, about how the New Deal was ushering in socialism. He was right. Look at it like this. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to rely on Social Security as their main source of income when they retire. My wife's a little younger than me. And she's saying by the time she retires, will Social Security even be available? That's why I've really gotten into investments. And I look at it like this. I think I've made a mistake. There's people out there that I've revealed, what I've done and how much wealth I've accumulated. Some people don't believe me. I don't care. But unfortunately, a lot of people, it's like this: misery loves company. I know people in this area outside of Philadelphia, Montgomery County. This is one of the highest per capita incomes in the whole country. There are hedge fund owners I know of that buy trees off of me. Some of these guys get on a train and go up to New York City for a few days a week and have an apartment up there where they have, their home in Montgomery County, their big estates. Another thing I like to mention is, I've known a lot of people, if people want to spend their life on YouTube, I really don't care. There's a lot of people I've met where, in my humble opinion, their YouTube channels become one of the most important things in their life. And then you get to know people better and you find out they have problems with family members. Well, you know what? YouTube should be just for fun. I mean, I enjoy YouTube, but you can make it the most important thing in your life. One thing you can't do is neglect your family members. I've said it before, my wife, my son, my dog, and my family. I have other family members, um, let's say siblings, nieces, and nephews. They're all for this woke stuff. I wish I could find it on YouTube. I remember, seeing it on TV repeats when our son was little. Mr. Rogers, only boys can be daddies and only girls can be mommies. And the whole thing with these people changing their gender, my opinion is they're trying to go against the laws of God. I'm not sure who's all watching because I see people liking this. Since nobody did a live show tonight, I thought I would just do something before I get a shower. I'm beat today. It today, okay, it rained here like around well, actually earlier in the week we had a little over 3 inches of rain. Then yesterday we had about a tenth. Today at lunchtime we had another tenth. And you know what? We still need a lot more rain. Um, this afternoon, because the grass was too wet to mow, if I would go out here with the Kubota, well, actually this morning because we had fog early in the morning, with all the dew from the fog, when I was running the tractor, dirt was sticking to the tires because the way these soils are around here, if I till ground in the spring, even when foxtail grass comes up or pokeweeds or any kind of vegetation, the soil is still loose underneath. It's just the nature of these soils. So today, I like technology. You can see the speakers in the background I built. This afternoon, after my wife got up from her nap, you know what I did? I watched videos of YouTube on TV and played it through the speakers I built just for the TVs, just for the TV. Actually, we're having problems with Verizon. They're supposed to come out on Monday. Channels freeze up. I used to be able, I would tape some, not tape, I would record some stuff on the DVR. That's not working. I used to be able to, this has been going on for months. I would pause the TV show I was watching and then take Holly out when she had to go out and pee, then come back in the house and watch the rest of it. I can't do that anymore. If I hit the pause button, then release it, the station's frozen. My thinking is we probably need a new router. I mean, we're basically at the end of the line for the Fios service because we're the road we're on is on the township border, of Skippack and Worcester, and the fact that we're next to the park. Verizon service is really going down. But to get back to some of the points I was making, it doesn't matter to me what people do, but people can't be just addicted to YouTube. I know people. It's like this: if you want to make a little extra money on YouTube, fine. It's very hard, I think, for anybody, from what I've read, to get by just on the money from YouTube. I mean, I don't know. I have no desire because that'll just be something else involved with the taxes. I do think. Thanks for the comment, Sharon. Yeah, one reason why I like doing this late at night is hopefully there won't be too many people watching with the live stream. I like doing shows with other people, but you know what the problem is? Once you get to know people, the more you get to know someone, I've said this before, when you get to know people, you can watch a TV, just like real TV, you can watch people on TV and think they're great. But then when you get to know people, they don't live up to their expectations. You know why? None of us are perfect. There's nobody on this planet that's perfect. Everybody has their faults. And for some reason, I don't know what it is. That Restream is supposed to work on Safari, and I had to do that on Firefox, and that was people don't realize how big of a pain it could be just to do a live stream. So tonight I did this on YouTube, and it kind of pisses me off when I email people and I don't hear back from them. But I know people are really busy. Sometimes I get pissed off with things that go on and vent a little because I look like this. When I'm on the YouTube channels, I try to be respectful to everyone. I've had problems on and off with a certain person. Some people know about it. I don't know why don't like me. They claim I'm a Philadelphia liberal. They don't like the game commission. They bring up Deer on other people's shows, and they claim to be a Christian. That's not what a Christian does. You don't go out of your way to attack people. I don't know. Maybe it's envy. I try to treat everybody the same, basically. I'm really glad the stock market came back this week. Um, I'll tell you, I thought of doing, first of all, I'll tell you, a lot of people have YouTube channels about stocks. And one of the reasons why they have these channels is they want you to pay a fee to join their channel, their private group, so you can learn how to make money in the stock market. I really think it's a waste of time. Hey, Vanguard has bots now where they will buy and sell your stocks. And the thing is, they'll take 1% of your portfolio per year to do that. I would not rely on a bot. And the reason why I say that is because of the tax implications. People don't realize with these stocks, say your stocks were your only source of income. With the if you sell a stock and have gains, you're going to have to pay quarterly taxes, state and federal, which I do. Um, and the thing is, most people won't be able to figure this out. That's why I have a CPA that does my taxes every year. People don't realize for every stock you own, you're gonna get a you're gonna get a 1099 dividend. So if somebody owns stocks in 100 companies, that's going to be like maybe 20 pages of 1099 dividends, and you got to show not the capital, any capital gains you have. People don't realize when you get a dividend, that's the capital gains. It takes me about a half an hour a day just to review everything I'm invested in. If somebody wants to get involved with the stock market and can't buy a full share from Vanguard, I'll tell you one way to do it. My son's investing. He has an app called Acorn that he has on his cell phone, and I think he puts about $25 in every week, and he buys fractions of stock shares. Um, I don't know about BlackRock or let's see. There's other banks he can do it with, but I know with Vanguard, I've told people before how I got involved with Vanguard over starting a retirement fund. But with Vanguard, you can only buy full shares. And I haven't had any problem with Vanguard over anything yet. Um, but people that are new and want to make a little bit of money, the thing to do is invest in some of these mutual funds. You figure, so years ago, my wife and I put a lot of money in Vanguard. They were called Jenny Mae's, GMMA. They were doing pretty good when interest rates were low. Then all of a sudden they started going down. So we got rid of all that. I don't know about other people, but my retirement fund in Vanguard isn't basically an Admiral account. And that thing's been going up. And the thing is, the stock market has just been, it's so volatile. It's all because of what's going on in Iran. And I tried to tell people in a nice way a few months ago, I'm not against buying silver, but I think silver is going to settle anywhere from like maybe $55 to $70. When people started saying buy silver at $90, $100, I thought you're out of your mind. Just like people project the gold to be up to 5 or 10 grand, it's still less than 5,000. It's in the low four. Hey, I would not want to be look at it like this. My wife's been saying for years, I'm in the wrong business growing trees. Yeah, but we've done really good with the trees. I would not want to be a financial planner because I would feel like I was under so much pressure. People that go to like Charles Schwab, I know from talking to enough financial people, I get stuff in the mail. I have banks call me up about wanting to handle my investments. I don't know how they know about it, but Charles Schwab has a Schwab 40 list. Most of the stuff, all these advisors, oh, I'm getting thirsty. They just go by what's on the Schwab 40 list. And Fisher Investments, they basically do the same thing. But if somebody wants to get investments, look at it like this. Look at these EP channels. Look up their recommendations. Then then write down what the stock was at when they said to buy it. Then a month later, look at what that stock's worth. And you know what I found out? They're right. They're correct no more often than I am. I've bought stuff that you never see on YouTube. I bought a lot of Target Resources when it was 99 bucks a share. I got into Taiwan Semiconductor. I should have bought way more when it was about the same price, actually 119. Um, a lot of people on YouTube they just want your money. The Motley Fool Weiss Research, they're okay. It's like I said, look at what they recommend, and go back a month later. Uh, I have pieces of paper all over this computer desk about different, the codes for different stocks. Some stocks they tell you to buy, and you know what happens? Hey, Joe Carroll Dodd, you know what happens? They tell you to buy this stuff when it's at a high price. There's a lot of stuff out there right now, space stocks. People ask me about, was I going to buy SpaceX? Well, look what happened. SpaceX got really high and it's dropped. I think it's going to drop a little more. I mean, when it comes to these stocks, you have two different categories. You got growth stocks and you got dividend stocks. I've talked about the Aberdeen company and their stocks. There, uh, they, I actually found out on Fox News they have a platinum stock. It's an ETF. Fox, not Fox News, excuse me, Fox Business. Fox Business it's just like MSNBC. Hey, Mary Friedland. Most of the stuff they mention with stocks, it's the same stuff. There's a lot of companies out there that I haven't even heard about that I found out on my own that are doing great. Um, Honeywell Aerospace was disappointing because I bought some of that, went down, but I think that'll come back. The stocks that fluctuate the most volatile are the ones that are really the most risky. And I said this when I think the last time I did a YouTube video. I think people are crazy um, selling NVIDIA. I think from just watching other people's videos, NVIDIA is really worth $300 a share. It's slowly climbing back up. The thing I like is the fact that NVIDIA is finally given a good dividend. If somebody owns a few thousand shares of NVIDIA and they're getting $1 dividend, look what that comes out to. Well, the main reason I did this is just watching somebody else's video. Um, Another example, my wife's car, she got in 2014, a new Ford Focus. She was saying a few weeks ago about getting a new car, and I was saying, you're going to retire in a few years. You won't be doing as much driving. And then with all the stuff in a new car, does any woman want to be in a car that has cameras looking at her all over the place? They could have a camera mounted in the floor, and that's not right. And the way these cars are, how the companies can just shut the thing off. My truck now is it's got 56,000 miles. It was brand new and I got it in 2003. I'm going to keep that thing till it literally falls apart, regardless of what it costs to keep the thing running, because you can't even get a half-ton, 8-foot bed Chevy anymore. You got to get a 3/4 ton that has an even bigger V8. And then you look at the price. I know people that have some really expensive cars. You look at what the insurance is on some of this stuff. Say you go out and buy and spend $90,000 on a brand new 3/4 ton truck. Look what the insurance is going to run a year on that thing. It's going to run a lot. Yeah, I agree with you, Mary Freeland, about that. Hey, Buckeye Bob. Okay, I've been on 23 minutes. I got to get a shower here soon. Everybody that watched, thanks. I don't know what's going on. Another thing I want to point out is it pisses me off if I'm on somebody's live stream and they're unaware, okay, and a moderator just starts deleting my comments. Not to be sound arrogant, but I have more insight, more knowledge, more experience in the financial world than most of the people I know on YouTube channels, being a long-time stock investor. And then you got to remember, all I ever heard about when I was a little kid was economics, the stock market. It runs in the family. Yeah, Mary Freeman, I'll tell you. Okay, since I'm not involved with my sister's tree farm, Corkum Tree Farms, they have a website because I couldn't take it anymore. Dealing with liberals. Um, I'm putting probably 700 miles on my truck a year. the property I used to take care of was only 3.5 miles away. But you drive back and forth every day for so many months of the year, it adds up. I'm saving money on gas. I have more hours on my Kubota tractor, my older Kubota tractor, than I do on my truck. And actually, the place that repairs my truck, they would buy it if I wanted to sell them. I said no way, because the truck's in excellent shape for its age. My wife, I think she's going to try to stick it out another 3 years. And the main reason is because of the benefits, the health care. Because okay, I think next year Social Security, not Social Security, Medicare is going to go up. Because I saw on closed captioning on the Allentown Weather Channel, the government's not going to subsidize Medicare Part D next year. And I took, because I'm in good health, I went with the free thing. But one of my sisters, her and her husband are each paying $55 a month for the better plan, where you can choose your doctor. The thing I have is, like around here, we're so close to Einstein Hospital. If I would ever have to have anything done, I could use any of their doctors under the free plan. Okay, that's pretty much all I want to say tonight. Thanks everybody for watching, and have a good night and take care.